Welcome to Departure Delayed, the podcast that explains the hidden side of the longevity equation in quantum state anti-aging, where we always ask the question, how can my final departure date from this world be delayed? Your host is Brian Gangle, holistic health professional, owner and founder of New Millennium Living Limited, and Canada's QRA expert.
Brian Gangle is not a medical doctor. No medical claims are being stated, and the information and education presented is for personal research and investigational purposes only. This information has not been evaluated by Health Canada, the FDA, the FTC, or the USDA, and is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease.
Today, Brian will be answering nutritional and health-related questions to help you unravel those mysteries behind biological aging. You will learn a new vocabulary for the natural healing, and he will share his 21 years of experience of teaching, training, coaching, and motivating others to live beyond a normal life.
Please consult your medical doctor or healthcare professional before beginning any new health program or taking any dietary supplements. Seek guidance regarding any contraindications if you happen to be taking any medical drugs.
And now, on with today's program. Hi everybody, welcome to Departure Delayed. I'm your anti-aging guru, Brian Gangle from bgangel.com. I'm a board-certified integrated medicine practitioner, honorary doctor of humanitarian services, brand ambassador for Premier Research Labs Canada, Canadian diplomat for the Quantum Research Council, certified QRA instructor, president of the Quantum Health Science Summits, clinical director for Neptune's Landing Health Sanctuary, and awarded the Order of Excellence in Health Education by the World Organization of Natural Medicine in 2018. Hey, if you're new to Departure Delayed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you share this great podcast with a friend, a neighbor, and a loved one so that they can get this great information too. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back to Season 2 of Departure Delayed. We've got some great episodes lined up for you this year. You're going to absolutely love it. Stay tuned. But before we dive into today's episode discussing the incredible nutrient called Resveratrol, I want to remind you of some of our upcoming live events that are going to be taking place maybe in your area. You know, we're going to be in British Columbia in Richmond. We're going to be there on June 1 and 2, 2019 with an incredible level 2 for all of the Quantum Health Science Summit freaks out there. You're going to absolutely love it. You can get tickets over at the Eventbrite.com ticketing portal site. You can just key in Quantum Health Science Summit Richmond, BC, and I'll take you right to the ticketing portal. We're going to be in Ontario, Canada on June 8th and 9th for a 2-day mini summit on 2019. You're going to absolutely love this 2-day extravaganza, which will get you an introductory course to QRA, quantum reflex analysis. That's a modality that I teach across the country. And at the same time, you're going to get the Day 2 workshop, Nutrition That Really Works, a blockbuster event. You don't want to miss it. Again, tickets at Eventbrite.com. Just key in Quantum Health Science Summit Toronto. And of course, you can get more information at my website portal at bgangel.com. Now, let's dive into today's episode discussing this incredible nutrient called Resveratrol. Truly one of the anti-aging giants out there. It's nature's longevity nutrient, and of course it has many studies showing its efficacy and anti-cancer as a weapon. Now, keep in mind that all of the studies done on Resveratrol, most of them are actual animal studies. Now, can it increase your lifespan? Absolutely, you betcha it can. Now, Resveratrol can be used to do many things, including increasing your lifespan. What if you could have a longer, healthier life to the point of doubling your lifespan? Well, science is now uncovering nature's longevity secrets, locked away inside certain plant molecules. In fact, there's over 750 scientific studies that have demonstrated the health-promoting properties of a special plant compound called Resveratrol. A recent landmark study done in 2003 demonstrated that Resveratrol was able to extend the lifespan of yeast cells by an incredible 60 to 80%. This study showed resveratrol was able to activate the longevity gene, the sirtuin genes, that is normally expressed or activated only during caloric restriction, such as fasting, interestingly enough. Since caloric restriction is known to extend the maximum lifespan in animals, such as mice, scientists speculated that humans might also be able to derive significant health and longevity benefits by orally supplementing with resveratrol. Although this study was focused on yeast, a very simple life form compared to humans, the life-extending results are believed to be applicable to humans as well as yeast and can have the same similar longevity gene effect. Other studies have shown that resveratrol is effective against many types of chronic diseases in humans, including cardiovascular disease, inflammatory conditions, age-related illnesses, and even the ultimate chronic degenerative disease, cancer. Now, resveratrol's remarkable anti-aging effects have been performed scientifically in both animal and living cell studies, proving that resveratrol is able to promote more efficient intercellular repair, creating healthier blood vessels, and protecting brain tissue. Definitely one of the big players here if you're going to have healthy lifespan well into your 80s, 90s, and 100s. Research demonstrates that resveratrol is able to deeply affect the center of the living cell's nucleus to provide significant antioxidant protection. There's that word again, antioxidant. Boy, where have we heard that one? As well as increasing cellular longevity. It activates an enzyme that prolongs the cell's life, thus also lowering more time for the cell to be repaired. And so if we can repair the DNA, we can have a longer life. And of course, we can have less activation of the cell death or cell destruction, which is known as the activation of the p53 gene. So if we can put that guy off, it stands to reason that we can have a healthier, longer life, and of course, healthier cells and healthier cell membranes. The unique natural molecular structure of the resveratrol appears to be the key in this remarkable functioning. And not just in an antioxidant capacity, because it also increases the rate of deacetylation. Now, acetylation and deacetylation is where the genes turn on and turn off. In other words, in biochemistry is called methylation and demethylation, and we discuss more of this at one of our previous episodes on the incredible HCl, hydrochloric acid detox, and you'll learn more about methylation and demethylation. The other way that this is described is acetylation or deacetylation. Now, for you aficionados here that want to look it up, acetylation is spelled A-C-E-T-Y-L-A-T-I-O-N. Check that guy out, and you'll learn how your genes turn on and turn off. And resveratrol is a big player because as that p53 gene gets activated, the junk DNA in the cell can dump into the nucleus of the cell and cause chaos in the cell membrane. Now, all of a sudden, here comes resveratrol, which literally mops up all of those fragmented DNA strands. In other words, repairs the actual cell by removing the destructive genes that have been activated in the actual cell. This is really remarkable stuff, and that's what makes resveratrol a world-class, all-star remedy. Now, in normal, healthy body reactions, this is called acetylation, deacetylation, a gene can turn on or can turn off. However, in cancer cells, cells begin a runaway activation of their own cancer gene, promoting the spread of diseased cells. So by controlling deacetylation and by activating the longevity gene, the resveratrol has the potential to stop the cancer process and provide serious longevity benefits, and there are some clinical citations and assays to prove that. By the way, anytime that you want any of the clinical citations or spec sheets on a particular nutrient here at Departure Delayed sent to you, just drop me a line to bgangel777@gmail.com, and I'd be glad to send that information your way. Now, the primary cause of aging and ultimately cell death is the gradual loss of the ability of older cells to precisely replicate their own DNA into a new cell. So as DNA mistakes as well as little pieces of unusable DNA fragments accumulate, this garbled up DNA debris eventually halts the cell's proper functioning. This clogging of the cell with the DNA trash, if you will, finally leads to the cell's deterioration and its cell death. However, resveratrol is able to reduce the amount of DNA mistakes and debris by an unprecedented 60%. I'll say it again, 60%, through its ability to stimulate the longevity gene. This is why resveratrol represents a giant step forward in slowing the overall aging process. Now, in cardiovascular protection, resveratrol is also a player because over the last decade, interest in resveratrol research has exploded because of its great potential for reversing so many different diseases, including the prevention of cardiovascular disease. And because it has shown an almost non-existent toxicity level at any dose, this is the perfect winning combination to battle chronic illnesses. And of course, it's remarkably effective with high safety and efficacy. In cardiovascular disease, years of free radical damage can lead to a thickening and hardening of the arteries. This cellular havoc from free radical pathology, which is uncontrolled, combined with infective agents such as nanobacteria, known to be the cause of restriction of the arterial blood flow and arterial damage. In a study published in Free Radical Research in the year 2000, resveratrol was tested against vitamin E and another synthetic antioxidant, but the resveratrol provided the best antioxidant defense for the arteries. Resveratrol was able to halt free radical damage and open normally narrowed arterial passageways. Wow, what a big player this guy is. Of course, it increases nitric oxide. And nitric oxide production, as you know, is a vital component for healthy heart and arterial functions. It naturally dilates the blood vessels to improve blood flow. In 2003, a study, high cholesterol diet was shown to decrease nitric oxide by as much as 33%. And in those endothelial cells of that, let's say, descending aorta, for instance, in between there's these little jets, okay, that produce nitric oxide. So if we can add resveratrol, it can significantly reverse decreased nitric oxide, acting similar to other drugs like Viagra in this regard. However, Viagra's action affects only small blood vessels, while resveratrol is able to affect both the small as well as the main arteries. Resveratrol can also inhibit red blood cell platelet adhesion and blood cell constriction to produce even more profound cellular circulatory upregulation. What about neurodegeneration? This is a big player in anti-aging. New research has shown that it can literally almost all of the neurodegenerative disorders, including the chronic brain-related concerns such as Alzheimer's disease, can be driven by an ever-escalation attack on the brain cells by two key elements, one being free radicals and the second, excitotoxins. These are neurotransmitters that act too long on a cell's neuroreceptors and literally excite the cells to death. These two unrelenting forces are commonly kept active in the body's chronic low-grade infection department, and these are often overlooked or missed in certain medical diagnostics. But free radicals and excitotoxins can steadily escalate their attack, feeding upon one another until they can literally kill the cell. Unchecked, this process can lead to an even more rapid neurodegeneration. So it protects the brain, this resveratrol compound. Studies shown that resveratrol may be a key compound that can halt this relentless neurodegenerative process, especially those with Alzheimer's or those who are at risk. And literally 25 to 30% of Americans and North Americans are at risk of neurodegeneration. Resveratrol has been shown to protect the brain against oxidized stress, and in conjunction with other antioxidants like vitamin C and the real vitamin E, the delta-tocotrienol, it has been proven to provide even greater measure of cell-brain protection than any other single antioxidant or single nutrient alone. For the most comprehensive free radical protection and acceleration of repair of the DNA breaks and those strands, The best partner for resveratrol is the living form of ALA, alpha-lipoic acid, and we will get into that guy along with the other big players like glutathione, NADH, nicotinamide alpha dinucleotide. We'll get into all of those big players later on in episodes up to come. Now, this resveratrol also has amazing anti-inflammatory effects. In a recent Chinese study, it showed that resveratrol was able to reverse the inflammatory process seen in spinal cord injuries at a level compared to steroidal drugs like prednisone. But resveratrol also provided superior free radical protection, as we've been alluding to, and better energy compensation when given immediately after the injury. Resveratrol is able to inhibit specific enzymes that change the way cells respond to injury. It is therefore theorized that taking resveratrol supplementary could mean a protective measure against stroke and other injuries, especially to the brain. In another study, it demonstrated that rodents which were pre-treated for 21 days with resveratrol had significantly less brain and motor core damage after a stroke had been initiated. Now, the key to the whole resveratrol is there's a controversy. And recent research found that resveratrol, when taken orally, was rapidly broken down by the liver through sulfation and glucuronidation. And some researchers are now led to believe that taking resveratrol only yielded a negligible amount of its effect to the body. But the prior research, including 3 Italian studies, shown that when resveratrol was combined with quercetin, a companion antioxidant, it significantly inhibited its breakdown and vastly improved its cellular bioavailability. Now, resveratrol is very sensitive to light and moisture, however, so it can be easily spoiled if not properly processed and packaged. It should be preserved in an alcohol that is of an organic nature or encapsulated with quercetin in a package which has a high barrier to air and light exposure. So resveratrol can be effectively delivered through the blood to the cells, evading degradation at the liver. Now, the best form of resveratrol is going to be one that is fermented here, folks. So the company that I work with provides a liquid, once living source of resveratrol from the giant knotweed, not from the red wine sources, which may contain prions or contaminants, okay? So this is from the best source found in nature, the giant knotweed. Now this guy delivers the best, cleanest source of the resveratrol. It's fermented to make it exquisitely bioavailable by using beneficial probiotics, which break the resveratrol down into a nanized, micro-sized format, then suspended in its living form in an alcohol milieu. Now, this guy really delivers the goods. And the way to use it is to take your dose, usually start with about a half a teaspoon, and you build up from there. I put it into a water bottle of about 8 to 16 ounces, and you sip on it slowly throughout the day. And this gets you a slow, metered dose of the resveratrol directly into the bloodstream, bypassing glucuronidation and sulfation at the liver, getting it right into the bloodstream, right into the cells, intact, boom, boom. That's what you're looking for. The best of the best, way better. So now, if you want to get that guy, you drop me a line, bgangel777@gmail.com, and I will get you in touch with a practitioner in your area who can help you to deliver the best source, the living source, the most bioavailable source of this incredible anti-aging key nutrient, resveratrol. Now, if you have any questions that you'd like to pose to the anti-aging guru, just drop me a line, bgangel777@gmail.com. I'm glad to get your questions answered. And you make a note on your calendar, if you're out in Western Canada, you want to get your butt over to the Quantum Health Science Summit, the Advanced. It's going to be taking place on June 1 and 2, 2019. And then a week later, on June 8th and 9th, we will be in Toronto, 2019, for an amazing 2-day summit, which is going to absolutely blow you away. You're going to love it. You're going to learn QRA, quantum reflex analysis. That's an advanced applied kinesiological muscle testing modality to test for the nutritional imbalances in the body and the organ and gland systems. And you're going to get this introductory course. You're going to absolutely love it. Followed right afterwards with the Nutrition That Really Works workshop, giving you all of the basic and advanced protocols to boot. You're going to absolutely love it. You get your tickets over at eventbrite.com or get information over at my website portal at bgangel.com. Until next time, I'm Brian Gangle from bgangel.com, your anti-aging guru, saying stress-free and healthy days to you all. Blessings until we meet again. And don't you dare forget, your final departure date can be delayed. Bye for now.